So how many interviews have you done now? Number five, right.
Yeah.
They all start to run together to certain point, right?
After the third one, or during the third one, I was like, did I just say this to
Right.
her last time or this time?
Right. Thank you so much, Liz, for taking a few minutes to talk. So you play the role of Mary Magdalene. Tell me how that opportunity came about.
Oh, it was so unexpected. I was in Austin working as a commercial actress for about 9 years. No, at that point, probably 7 years. And was really depressed and not knowing what to do. I wasn't working enough to really make ends meet. Like I was barely making rent, and I was in a depression at that time, and I got to a point where I was like, I need to change careers because this feels like I'm following some dream that is dead at this point. And so I told my agent to stop submitting me, and he submitted me to this anyway. And I hadn't auditioned for a theatrical role in a really long time. My background was in theater, so I was used to really wonderful female characters. But in film and TV and the commercial world, sometimes that's a little limited for actresses. It was all sort of like how you look instead of what's inside. And I was just disappointed with the quality of what was being offered. And so this was the first time I was like, this character is incredible and complicated and emotionally rich and has an actual like backstory to her. And I was so excited to get to play someone that was realistic and relatable. And so, yeah, when I auditioned for it, I was like, this, if I don't get this, I'm done. Like that's the big sign. And I wasn't expecting it. I booked it, and it's been such a gift and life-changing and incredible to be able to portray her.
Yeah. And, having come out of such a dark season and then this being the door that finally opened and you could maybe take a second and exhale, how did that challenge your faith or maybe change your perspective on faith as you started to really dig into this character?
I think I'm kind of a skeptic about religion, and I'm trying to be very rational about things. And it's over time, it's been really hard to ignore that there's something really special about this experience for me. I feel like I wouldn't have been able to connect with the Lilith portion of her if I hadn't gone through some painful things. And because of that, I'm realizing like God has been there the whole time. And then there are these moments in the show where like I'm actually saying that of in the depths and in the heights, you are there. And so there's just been these really sweet sort of idiosyncratic things for me personally throughout this show that like are constant reminders of like God's love is real. It's a real thing, and it's I've slowly been like opening up to it, and to see people respond to the show and share their hearts with me has been renewing, I think, a hope in humanity and in God.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier on having a heart for elevating female roles and the roles of women, not just in film and theater, but also in television now, and this being the first chance you've had to do that. How does this fit into that passion of yours?
I mean, it is exemplary of it, I think. It's showing and exploring a character that is not perfect. And I think that's been the problem with sort of, I don't know, Hollywood type roles, is that like you have to look perfect or you're a character actor and you have to perform perfectly. And I think like Mary is just a messy, real person who makes mistakes and is trying her hardest. And I feel like being able to play a character that people relate to, and it's not this like far away, perfect thing. Like she's person, and we all are. And
Yeah.
it's been this connecting factor for me with our fans.
And you mentioned having the life experience that you've had, and you've been able to kind of pour some of that into your character as Mary. How has maybe Mary taught you? Like, what are things that you've learned about her that have been eye-opening?
Yeah, I think with Lilith, I was able to use those scenes as catharsis to like get certain things out of my system and cry it out, and over the seasons, Mary's been changing and growing and maturing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but like it's still growth. And she's taught me like you can make mistakes and you're going to make mistakes. The beautiful thing about that though is that you're always still loved
Yeah.
no matter what. And the further you go into accepting that, the less painful those lessons have to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's constantly teaching me like just it's about growth, it's about continuing, it's about being in a process instead of being perfect. And what a relief that is to just do your best. You don't have to change the world, but you can change yourself.
And season 3, without giving too much away, obviously is going to be there's going to be an elevation of the role of women and a focus on that. How important is that to you personally? Why do you think it's necessary in telling the story of Jesus and his ministry to elevate those roles?
That Jesus elevated women, period. I mean, that like it's rooted in what Jesus did, and his care, respect, and love for women was the same as men. It was for people, for all people. And I'm excited that we're a show that is representing a vast array of types of women, of mothers, wives, entrepreneurs, women with pain, women with joy. I mean, it's just like the gamut of a female experience. And they're going in a really honest and sometimes raw and challenging direction with this in a way that shows very specifically female traumas and pains. Even in season 1 of her being assaulted by of Mary being assaulted by a Roman soldier, like that is a very specific thing that you don't really expect from a show that's biblically based.
Right.
But that was the reality, and that still is the reality. And I think that's why people are relating to this show and these characters is they were people then, we're people now. Like these are human experiences.
Yeah. As an actor, how do you approach, just developing the character of a story that's of a person? I mean, that's so complex. I mean, there are so many layers to her. How do you balance that as an actor?
One scene at a time. I feel like the complexities of her. I think that the biggest challenge was probably with season 1 of needing to create a backstory in my imagination and bring that into the scenes. Now, because it's going on for so long, we're in season 3 now, I have an actual history and memories of playing her that like each season it's becoming more and more like fleshed out.
Yeah.
And so it's becoming kind of easier just to slip into the character, and the relationships and dynamics with the other characters come naturally because I have real dynamics with the other actors that we can bring into the scenes.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene that you've shot so far for season 3, or even from the earlier seasons that was really impactful?
I have lots of favorite scenes, but for season 3, Tamara and Mary have a beautiful scene together. They have these tensions that have been arising over the course of the first half of the season, and it's miscommunication, it's misunderstandings of each other, it's assumptions and maybe a little judgment, and it's just these little things that start building into real tension, and it's finally the scene where that tension breaks and they share what's going on, and because of that they're able to become better supporters of each other and understand each other, and it's a really gorgeous scene. Amber does a beautiful job with bringing so much depth to that scene that I'm excited for people to see it.
Yeah, I'm so excited for season 3. Thank you so much for taking some time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.